Thank you very much. 6:31 is your time right now. An intense fight continues this morning in Texas as doctors work to save the life of an Ebola patient and to make sure that the virus does not spread.
There are a lot of questions this morning about the outbreak and if there's more the U.S. could be doing to try to stop the spread. Jay Gray is in Dallas for us, which has become sort of the epicenter. International story, at least here in the States, Jay.
Yeah, it really has. Faye, Doug, good to talk to you this morning. Let's start first with the condition of Thomas Eric Duncan. Not good. The news coming out of the isolation unit this weekend that he's been downgraded from serious to critical condition. His family members in North Carolina making the trip today here to Dallas to be at his side, or at least in the same area. They won't be specifically by his bedside because he continues to be in isolation right now. They're telling us that he's gone from calling them last week from that isolation unit to this week being on a dialysis machine and respirator. Doctors say, look, this is the early stages of what they already knew was going to be a very difficult, a very long fight here, so they continue to treat him around the clock as CDC teams on the ground here continue to reach out and see if there's anyone else that may have had contact with him before he was admitted to the hospital. Right now, there's a core group of about 38 to 40 people that they are watching closely. 10 of those continue to be quarantined right now and monitored daily. The good news is no one that's come into contact with Duncan has shown any symptoms of the virus at this point. There's still some time to go. They'll still be monitored for another 2 weeks because Ebola can have a long incubation period in some patients, so they want to make sure everyone is out of the woods before they stop monitoring, before they stop taking temperatures of those who came into the closest contact with Duncan. As for the other patient flown in from Liberia to Omaha, Nebraska today, Ashoko Mukpo, the freelance journalist and writer who was working for NBC News at the time he was diagnosed with the deadly virus, is on U.S. soil again at this point. The American photographer, his family, all in Omaha. He's being treated at the Nebraska Medical Center. Of course, that's the same facility, Faye and Doug, that treated an earlier Ebola patient. So the team there of about 48, 50 specialists say they're ready for this next challenge and feeling confident because of the success they had with the earlier patient. He is doing quite well right now. He walked off of the jet and into an ambulance when he was transported this morning. He is talking, he is eating on his own. So they want to take advantage of his strength right now. They'll start treatments right away there. They'll start this morning in Omaha.
All right, Jay, thank you very much. Appreciate that report. Stay dry there in Dallas. Thanks.
You can hear the rain behind Jay. All right, for the U.S., now the virus fight is at home. Phoenix Group is working to fight Ebola in West Africa. Project Cure is sending millions of dollars in protective supplies to countries like Sierra Leone and Liberia.
Katie Roosh is at the group's Tempe warehouse with a look at the supplies. This is quite an effort.
This is quite an undertaking. They've already sent 3 containers from this location specifically, 12 across the entire United States within their network. And they're focusing on protective supplies for the doctors and nurses. These are some of the things that they are sending: gowns, masks, gloves, all things that the doctors and nurses there taking care of the Ebola patients do not have. Now, to date, the national network of Project Cure has sent $2.5 million in supplies to Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. This has included 330,000 gloves and many more gowns, boot covers, goggles, face shields, hand sanitizer, IV solutions, and biohazard bags. Project Cure's executive director says the help they send from Phoenix could help contain the outbreak overseas.
Our main objective is to protect the healthcare workers in West Africa. So that's what we're trying to do. And by protecting the healthcare workers in West Africa, we are eventually, hopefully, going to contain the outbreak of Ebola.
Now, the group plans to send 1 more container within the next couple of weeks, as long as they do get the funding. But they do need volunteers here at the center to help